What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video and to the channel here. This video marks the first video I am filming in 2022. So all the other videos that I've been posting so far, there's like 3 I think. I filmed those in 2021 regarding the products for my new website hollandbee.com. But this is the first video that I'm filming in 2022. So happy new year. I hope all of you had a good 2021. I definitely did. I had a lot of growth and a lot of opportunities here to do what I love. One of them being the business, obviously. And I hope to continue this growth through 2022. I am super excited to do more mods, just more things regarding BMWs and cars and all that. So yeah. But anyway, that's enough of that. So for this video, I feel like a good way to start off 2022 is to look back at 2021 in regards to how much I spent on my F30 BMW 335i that I'm sitting in right now. For those of you who've been following since I first bought this car, the car was completely stock at the beginning of 2021. I didn't do a single mod. So exactly a year ago, the car was completely stock. And as you guys know, I've done a lot of things to this car in regards to exterior and performance. So I want to go over those with you guys in terms of the costs so that you guys get an idea of how much it really costs to mod this car. For those of you who may be just starting out or are thinking about getting a BMW F30. So yeah, that is what I'm going to do in this video. So let's get into it here. So I kept a list on my phone in my notes app of everything, every mod, every maintenance thing I've purchased, every amount of money I've spent on a part or anything for this car. So I have a complete list here of every single mod and its cost. So I'm going to go through this list with you guys here. So the very first modification I did to this car were installing a set of BC Racing coilovers, just because this car had a really high ride height that really bothered me and it just looked really bad. So that was the first thing I did, and the BC Racing coilovers were $995, so pretty much $1,000. And I did do a video on installing those, if you guys want to check that out by any chance. I would say BC Racing coilovers are about in the middle in terms of price range, so they're not the most expensive, but also not the cheapest. I do think the BC Racing coilovers are definitely a good option if you don't want to spend too much money, but don't want to buy the cheapest. They come with full adjustability with the ride height, the dampening force, the stiffness, and then with the spring compression. I think you can adjust that. I think that's what it's called. I haven't really messed with that, just the ride height and the dampening force. But you get all of that for $1,000. Usually you'd have to pay like maybe $1,500 to $2,000 if you want like KWs, which has those same features. Now, from what I've seen, KW does have higher quality, coilovers, because obviously that's why they're more expensive. Some people report that BC Racing coilovers make a bunch of clucking noise sometimes. I've noticed in mine it does it sometimes, but it doesn't really bother me. So yeah, I think they were a great addition to the car. After I did the coilovers, I quickly bought a set of wheel spacers to improve the fitment with the original stock wheels, which were the 407M wheels. I'm correct. But yeah, I ended up getting spacers so that the wheels would stick out a little bit more flush with the body fender lines. So yeah, that cost me about $200. I ended up selling those right after I bought them. I only had them on for like a couple weeks because that goes into my next mod here. I ended up buying a set of 437M wheels, the wheels that come on the M3 and M4 and M2 cars from factory. Those cost me $1,300. I bought them used from somebody local here, with the tires and everything. So yeah, that was not too cheap, but they definitely improve the look of the car since those wheels are a lot wider and a lot more aggressive looking. And I absolutely love those wheels. I have had them on since, that was like back in March or February when I got those last year. So yeah, so the next mod I did was getting a set of double slatted M-style gloss black grills for the front bumper. These were only about like $32 and not really expensive at all. It didn't really add anything big. I just think the M-style looks better because it has, the sportier look that looks similar to the M cars. So the next mod I did was getting a super aggressive carbon fiber front lip. Now this front lip was not cheap at all. It cost me $518 with taxes and shipping and everything. But I do think it's worth it for the most part because it's not very common on a lot of F30s, and it looks super aggressive on the car. I definitely love this thing. I'm glad I went with this front lip. Just the thing though, it kind of does stick out, and just the way it's like designed, you don't want to drive too fast because of the downforce that is put on it. If you go like 120, it could potentially like rip off the front bumper, even if you do secure it with like nuts and bolts and everything. There's a chance it could, so I really don't drive that fast because I'm afraid I might, lose it and it might just detach. I do have it secured with nuts and bolts though, but from what I've seen, it's still possible that this thing could just come ripping off if you're going too fast. So just be aware of that if you're thinking about getting this lip. But I do love this lip, and it is not cheap, as I mentioned. The next mod I bought for this car were a set of carbon fiber side skirt extensions that I got from Amazon, and those cost me $280. I ended up not really liking the look of them. I still have them on the car because I haven't gotten a different set, but my original plan when I first installed them was to just get another set that was more aggressive because I didn't like how thin they were. They didn't really stick out that far as I'd like. But yeah, I have those, and I'm still planning to get a different set that stick out a bit more and are more aggressive looking. The next thing I did to my F30 here was I painted the calipers, the lime green look that you guys see on the brake calipers in the front and back. I bought a kit from Amazon that was $60, and I painted it myself. But I think it turned out great. They look really OEM, like from factory, like the colored M brakes you can get on some of the newer BMWs. But yeah, that was only $60, not too expensive at all. I definitely recommend that if you want to change the color of your brake calipers. The next thing I have is a set of GTS taillights, and those cost me $650. I got those from BAV Group Designs, which is also the same company I got my Angel Eye rings from that are on my BMW E90. So yeah, those are not cheap, but they do look awesome. I absolutely love these taillights. I think they look a little bit better than the LCI taillights that come on the newer F30s, because I was considering doing those first, but I ended up going with the GTS taillights because it just looks different and it looks really cool, and the startup animation is also really cool. So yeah. The next thing I did was I changed out the carbon fiber spoiler that was originally on the car when I first bought it. I changed it out for a CS style carbon fiber spoiler, and that cost me $200 exactly. I got it from ECS Tuning. So yeah. Now the last thing I did here for the exterior was get a GTS hood, and that cost me $800 with taxes and shipping and everything. I got that hood from a Souvenir also, which is the same website I got my front lip from. So yeah, that was not cheap at all, but it definitely made the car look a lot more aggressive. I was originally going to paint it white to match the rest of the car, but I ended up deciding to just wrap it satin black and just keep the black look because it just looks different, more unique, and it stands out. I'm hoping to get a carbon fiber hood because after getting this GTS hood and then wrapping it black, I really wish I would have gotten carbon fiber because that would have looked super sick, super fire. So I'm hoping to do that at some point here. I don't know when, but we'll see when that happens. A couple of other mods that I did to the car that I didn't necessarily have to pay for were the carbon fiber M-style mirror caps and then the LED smoke sequential turn signals. I got a sponsorship. That company sent those out to me. The company was Max Speeding Rods. They sent these products out to me to test and to show you guys, and they're great. They're great products. But as far as I know, they aren't even selling the mirror caps or the turn signals anymore. However, I am selling the same exact mirror caps and the LED sequential turn signals on my website, hollandb.com, if you guys want to check those out. But yeah, that's about it for the exterior mods that I did on the car, I think, according to my list here. So yeah, I think let's get into the performance mods now. So the first performance modification I did to this car was getting a charge pipe and an upgraded intercooler from CTS Turbo. I did those first before I did any sort of downpipe or tune because from what I was hearing, the charge pipe doesn't really handle more boost that well, even on the stock boost. So it's prone to just bursting and breaking. So that's why I did that first, and also with the intercooler to make sure I have efficient cooling for when I get the downpipe in the tune, so that the car runs better since it has colder air. So the charge pipe cost me $189, and then the intercooler cost me $383. The next performance mod I did was getting a intake, also from CTS Turbo. That intake cost me $264. Definitely love that intake because it has all sorts of intake noises, and at some points it literally sounds like a blow-off valve, especially now with my GTS hood, and with the hood vent, there's more sound coming out of the engine from the intake, and it legit just sounds like a blow-off valve. It sounds really awesome. I'll probably throw in a couple clips after this clip here so you guys can hear how it sounds. The next performance mod I got was a high flow catted downpipe, also from CTS Turbo. That cost me $380. Now this high flow catted downpipe from CTS Turbo is on the cheaper side from what I've seen. When I was looking at other companies, some of them are going for like $800. I'm not sure why, but CTS Turbo has theirs for $380. So if you want a high flow catted downpipe, definitely recommend CTS Turbo. I got a high flow catted downpipe instead of a catless because I think the high flow catted downpipe sounds better. In my opinion, the catless sounds too raspy, and I didn't want the exhaust smell that comes with catless. I thought if I got the high flow cat, it would not smell at all, but it still smells sometimes. I just don't think it's as bad as if it was catless. But regardless, I still recommend this downpipe, this high flow downpipe, if you don't want to spend that much money. This one works and functions just fine. Now the next mod I did here was getting the boot mode license so that I can flash the car with a tune. The license for boot mode costs $595 for me. I'm not sure if it's the same price, but when I got it, it was $595, essentially $600. And I initially got it without the map pack, so I only flashed it with the first OTS map, which was the stage 2, since I had a downpipe. But I eventually switched to running 85, and I had to buy the map pack for an additional $50 so that I can flash the car with any of the maps that I have available. When you first buy it without the map pack, you can only flash one map. But if you buy the map pack for an additional $50, you can flash any map. So if you're planning to go up in stages, definitely get the map pack so you can flash any map. So the next performance mod I did was getting a resonator delete so that I can make the car louder. That cost me $120. In addition to the resonator delete, I also got aftermarket exhaust tips. Those cost me $180, and they definitely look a lot better than the stock exhaust tips that come on these cars. Once you like tune the car and it's fast and it's loud, I feel like the stock exhaust tips don't do like the sound and how fast it is the justice. So definitely recommend getting some bigger aftermarket exhaust tips. At least that's in my opinion. It's all about, personal preferences and tastes. That's just mine. So the last performance mod I did here was getting the XHP transmission flash. To do that, you have to get a license, just like boot mode, and that cost me $352 for this specific transmission. I have the 8-speed ZF automatic, and that definitely helped with the shifting. When you're in sport mode, it shifts like really quick, almost like a DCT. So that definitely helps. Definitely think that's worth it if you are tuned. By the way, for those of you wondering about the performance, I told you I flashed to a different map on boot mode because I'm running 85. I'm currently on the stage 2 E30 map, OTS map from boot mode with all the mods I just listed, and I'm pushing. When I took it to the dyno, I made 404 max wheel horsepower and 488 max wheel torque. So I think those are excellent numbers, plenty of power if you guys like driving fast. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there for those of you who are wondering about performance and the power of this car right now. Alright, so that sums up all of the mods that I purchased for the car last year in 2021. So the total amount of all those mods comes out to about $6,500. Now I'd say that isn't really that much compared to some other people who mod their cars, but that is just the first year of owning this car. For example, my E90, I did like a similar video where I went over like all of the mods and their costs. So far I've spent about $13,000 on that car over the course of almost 4 years now of me owning it. So I'm already about halfway there with this car in just the first year. I'm not sure. I honestly don't have that many other mods that I'm planning to do, so I don't think I'll reach that amount for this car, honestly. But we'll see if I get there. But feel free to let me know if you guys think that's a lot or not that much at all. I kind of think it is a lot, but I don't think it's a lot for a regular car person to spend. That's about how much you'd spend. I honestly think it's on the lower end of how much people spend on their cars. If you saw the list of my stuff here, it's pretty much done. Like, I made a list before I bought the car, and if you guys can see it on camera, all of the green marks are check marks of all the stuff I've done and completed to the car already. There's only like a couple things I have here left, but yeah, I made a list before I bought this car of the stuff I wanted to do, and then I was also going to keep track of the prices, the amount I pay for the parts. And I'm pretty much done with this list. There's only like maybe 5 more things on here, so there really isn't that much I want to do as of right now to this car. So yeah, that is how much I've spent on this car, $6,500 over the course of 1 year of modifying. I hope you guys found that intriguing and valuable for those of you who are planning to mod your BMW F30. Also, I have videos of every single mod that I mentioned in this video of me installing it, so if you guys want to see how to install it or just see me installing it, feel free to check out my channel. They're all the videos from last year on my BMW F30. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. So just a couple things here for, you know, my outlook on 2022. So as you guys know, I just started my business, hollandb.com, where I'm selling parts for the BMW F30 chassis and the E90 chassis, since that's what I also have, my BMW E90 328i. I'm planning to add a lot more products, and with those products comes me, you know, product testing them on my cars. So I am most likely going to have more videos of me, you know, like all the next mods that I have for the BMW F30 are going to be product tests, so that I can include these products on my website for you guys to purchase, instead of, you know, trying to find these on eBay or Amazon or some other site. I'll just have an easy way for you to find these mods that I do on the cars. So yeah, I'm super excited. I already got more products on the way right now that I'm waiting for. I'm hoping to do a kind of a revamp of the rear end of my BMW F30 here, because it's kind of starting to look not that good and not match with the front of the car, since the front of the car looks pretty aggressive with the GTS hood and the front lip. So I got a couple things for the rear end coming here soon, so look out for more videos. If you guys have any comments or questions, as always, comment them down below in the video. I will check them out and get back to you. Also, feel free to check out my new website, as I mentioned already, hollandb.com, if you are looking for mods and parts for your BMW F30 or BMW E90. I'll leave a link in the description if you guys want to check out that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found some value in it. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more videos like this, more products, more mods for my BMW F30 and E90. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys in the next video.